Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter continues to provide supplies to residents affected by the pandemic. Volunteers and families from Taipei join a prostrating pilgrimage in Hualien. Welcome to Diet Headlines. I'm Sivir Su. Thank you for joining us. COVID-19 continues to plague the world, and despite vaccination starting in Indonesia, it is still not enough to counter the spread in the country. Local residents are still out of work and facing food shortages. Therefore, Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter continues to give support to residents.
Gajinya kecil, 300 sebulan, ngereyeh be emak daripada emak hutang-hutang ke warung ada yang bayar, nggak ada penghasilan apa. Anak susah semua ini ya.
Artana is frustrated about her finances, but doesn't know where to turn to for help. As the pandemic is still going strong, Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter continues to provide relief in different locations.
The pandemic has gone on for a long time and many people have lost their jobs. We hope these aid supplies can help relieve some stress.
In Banten's Lebak, someone donated 100,000 portions of aid supplies and asked Tzu Chi and the military to distribute it to families in dire need.
During the pandemic, we cannot conduct our business, so our income has gradually reduced. We have problems to put food on the table. Thankfully, you have given us rice. We are so happy to have a rice to eat again.
Meanwhile, in East Java, volunteers send aid supplies to remote residents each month, which includes rice and masks, to help solve their problems temporarily.
Dengan adanya bantuan ini dari Bunda Tzu Chi.
I'm so happy to receive Tzu Chi's gift, which includes rice and masks. Thank Allah, and may Allah bless you.
Bagaimanapun situasi sulit ini, kalau kita bersama-sama,
Pandemic has lasted this long, but we continue to be united in our goal. No matter how big the obstacle is, we can get through it. This time, it's not just Tzu Chi who is here to help. Many other charity organizations are here offering support.
COVID-19 continues to wreak havoc on the world, but Tzu Chi's support does not stop.
There's a single mother in Luzhou who takes care of a pair of children. The family of 3 lives in a suite with only 1 bed. They have to take turns to sleep every day. The house is full of miscellaneous items. In March, at the request of Social Affairs Bureau, city volunteers began to accompany and care for the family.
Single mother Miss Lin leads a family of 3 living in this suite with only 1 big bed full of clutter and limited space. They take turns sleeping on their 1 bed. Helping them find a home where they can sleep comfortably is the first priority of Tzu Chi volunteers. 50 volunteers mobilized to move the items from the rooftop to the 7th floor, where the elevator is located. The new residence on the 4th floor has no elevator, as things need to be carried by hand. Unlike the past, there is the living room with 3 rooms. When moving in, the landlord did not include furniture or a water heater. Volunteers helped with all the arrangements.
The whole place was empty. We have moved in the furniture and helped her move the bed and the closet and the lights and paint the whole thing.
Finally, everyone has their own independent space, and the good mood of the children makes this home different from the beginning.
Thank you very much. Thank you for helping us. I'm glad you helped us move here. We are very satisfied.
In March, Tzu Chi accepted a call from the Social Affairs Bureau to care for the family. In April, Tzu Chi made glutinous rice balls by hand to celebrate move-in day and sent sincere blessings. The mother's tears show their gratitude, as they just want this happiness to be there forever.
In China, Xining City is located in the southern part of Guangxi. Children living in the mountains have a harder time to go to school because of the impoverished condition of their families. Since 2009, Tzu Chi has supported these children to realize their dreams of studying.
Although it is not Lunar New Year, the Tzu Chi Guangzhou Liaison Office is filled with the warmth of a family reunion, as volunteers lead the children to make dumplings.
Eating dumplings symbolizes family reunion, safety, and peace. This year, we have a lot of new classmates, and today is the first time for them to come to our Tzu Chi family. We hope our senior brothers and sisters will lead our school siblings to join and feel warmth of this big family.
Almost all these children are from Xinyi City, which is the mountainous area of Guangdong. Because of the impoverished situation of their family, their education path has been more difficult than ordinary children, so they help them leave their hometown and go to the city to realize their dreams.
Tzu Chi's love is not reflected in the scholarship, but in volunteers' love and care for us, just like a family.
Everyone is relying on spiritual support to accomplish everything. The spiritual support that Tzu Chi brings to us is actually what we need and what we can get.
One of the Tzu Chi scholarship recipients, Wang Qiuping, is about to enter society. As a senior student, she encourages her junior schoolmates to have more interaction with volunteers.
When you come across any difficulties, I think you can try open up your heart to communicate with Tzu Chi aunties and uncles. Tell them your difficulties. They, being our seniors, will give us advice and encouragement.
Volunteers give out blessings to the fresh graduates, hoping that they can strike their best to accomplish their dreams.
In Malaysia, Tzu Chi volunteers and a care recipient Harun have worked together to help another care recipient repair her broken roof. Volunteers hope that through their help, this care recipient and her family can celebrate Eid al-Fitr with peace of mind. Tzu Chi volunteers have come to care recipient Aziri's Atu's house to help repair her broken roof. They helped repair the roof before Eid al-Fitr so that Aziri Atu's family can celebrate a holiday with peace of mind.
Recently, we formed a repair team. As Azria Tu's husband has passed away, she has become a single parent. The roof is leaking and it is very hard for a woman to go fix it. So our team has suggested we should help her repair her roof. The roof has been broken for 4 years. I really appreciate Tzu Chi for all the help they have given me. It would cost a lot to buy a new roof. I am very touched that Tzu Chi can help me at this time. I don't need to worry about rainy days. It has lessened my burdens.
Among the volunteers helping Azria Atu repair her roof is a care recipient Harun. Due to a fire accident in 2014, Harun has lost his home and become a Tzu Chi care recipient. After his life stabilized, Tzu Chi stopped providing financial aid, but still cares for his daily living.
Yes, there's a hole in the roof. Now we will replace with a new roof. Harun has come to Malaysia to work as a construction worker for the first time. However, due to the pandemic, he often does not have work to do. His work gets interrupted. This time, Brother Ji Xiang said his team needs someone to join work for relief, so we invited him. I think this is a very good way. Not only do we provide him with financial aid, we also ask him to contribute his efforts. This is helpful for them. It is more ideal for our care recipients to get back on their own feet.
However, for Harun, as long as he can reciprocate Tzu Chi's assistance, he's willing to help Tzu Chi with construction work, and he does not mind about getting paid or not.
The most important thing is to give. Tzu Chi has given me financial aid, let it be 1 ringgit or 10 ringgits. We cannot take money with us after we pass away. We should help other people. This way, we can cultivate our blessings.
Through providing work for relief, Tzu Chi volunteers have allowed care recipients to turn from receiver to givers, realizing their potential to help other less fortunate people. Tzu Chi is celebrating its 55th anniversary this year and hosted a 17-day Lotus Sutra event. A Tzu Chi volunteer and his wife participated in the 17 days. The husband and wife watched the ITV, which inspired them to change for the better.
Watching the ITV, Toju Bing learned from the real-life stories of some Tzu Chi volunteers and quit his bad habits.
In the past, I was a smoker, and my own son would not believe I could change that. When I first started in Tzu Chi, I secretly smoked. It became such a worry that people would find out. Then I heard the master say, people are much bigger than cigarettes. They should not let it control them. Then I threw away the cigarettes and began putting the money I'd used to buy them in here. I do that each morning.
The money he'd otherwise spend on cigarettes are now all saved in his bamboo coin bank.
When I watched ITV, I realized gambling was not something I wanted to continue, as the gambling house was my second home.
Seeing inspirational quotes, To will jot it down or take a picture of it and pass it along to his friends.
I want to share it with others because the Master wants us to share Dharma with others. And I am also inspired by the quotes. This is why whoever wants to watch Thai TV, I would install it in their home.
Wife Jim Shu Ying began waking up each morning to learn Dharma from the Wisdom at Dawn with Master Zhen Yan. Having spent many years chanting sutras, she's very glad to finally find Dharma wisdom in which she understands.
The master speaks in Phucanese, so I can understand her. Watching the ITV is like studying the sutra. It's helpful for those of us who cannot read or understand the sutra text. If we just turn on the ITV, it's just like learning Dharma wisdom from the rest of the world.
Tzu Chi is 55 years old this year, and for 17 days, a live stream from Hualien of the Lotus Sutra Study Group is held. The couple attend each day and share what they learn from the day's teachings in hopes of changing themselves and others around them for the better.
Before Tzu Chi's 55th anniversary, more than 500 volunteers and their family members from the 3 districts of Taipei went to Hualien and performed a prostrating pilgrimage with pious and respectful hearts. Let's join them there.
More than 500 volunteers from the 3 districts of Xintai, Zhongshan, and Datong in the Taipei area and their families did a prostrating pilgrimage with pious hearts. Because of the pandemic, everyone here wears masks during the worship. Some sincerely pray and some purify their hearts.
Today's prostrating pilgrimage let us have humble hearts to make contact with the earth. This gives us better vision and better ideas. We want to follow the Master's recommendation to make the world better, regardless of climate change. And we hope for improvements during the pandemic.
Because Mother's Day is coming soon, and my mother has trouble walking, I wanted to do this prostrating pilgrimage and pray for my mother. If my mom's legs get better, I will bring my mother came to do this prostrating pilgrimage next year.
Xin Shuhan usually works in Singapore. This year, she took leave to return to Taiwan to accompany her mother. This is a rare opportunity as she bowed down with her elderly mother.
The master said that there are 2 things you can't wait to do. One is to do filial piety and the other is charity. Now that my father is gone, I think this matter has become more important. So I'm here participating in this prostrating pilgrimage with my mother, which will hopefully improve her health.
Liao Susha, a Tzu Chi volunteer who has never missed the anniversary celebration, also took her mother with her. They clasped their hands together from start to finish.
My mother is getting older and older. I'm not sure if I waited, she'll be able to do it anymore. A lot of things indicate impermanence coming, so I seized this opportunity and brought her to the Jingsi abode.
With firm steps and devotion, the body has become pure, and everyone gathers good thoughts to pray for the world, to be free from disasters and the end of the pandemic.
To present the Lotus Sutra adaptation, 62 volunteers have joined the planning team. Among them, onstage seat volunteer Ye Deze has designed sign language picture charts to help onstage volunteers memorize the moves. He has also taken the Buddhist teachings to heart during the process. Northern District on-stage volunteer Ye Deze has joined the planning team since Sutra adaptation in 2011.
The biggest problem we encounter this year is that our formation is different from the 4 performing groups, so we need to make changes constantly.
To ensure the on-stage volunteers can memorize the moves, Ye Deze has designed sign language picture charts.
Every time we synchronize the movement, he will go back and make a picture chart. Then on-stage volunteers can memorize the moves using the picture charts.
During the process, he often gets up at 4 or 5 a.m. to check the position markers for everyone.
Ye has become a sea volunteer to form good affinities with everyone. He has also changed his bad habits.
In the past, I was more hot-tempered, and I was not very polite when I talked. Later, each time I read the Bodhisattva Sutra, the verses tell me what I should, so I improve.
Ye Deze has taken the sutra to heart and learned much as he contributes to the on-stage team. To celebrate Tzu Chi's 55th anniversary, in a sutra adaptation performance, many young volunteers play movements and stage positions together. One young volunteer, named Li Lunshuo, participated in the Tzu Chi Water Repentance Sutra adaptation 10 years ago. But this time, he took the initiative to assume the planning team.
Li Runshuo, who is guiding the movement eagerly, is a detective Sikh volunteer in Hualien County.
For Tzu Chi's 55th anniversary, we may only have gone through 10 or even 15 years. How can I tell these old bodhisattvas about the things that happened before, so that they can recall their memories and let them enter the Dharma to complete the movement? This is my biggest challenge and rewards this time.
In 2011, Li Runshuo was still a college student and participated in the Water Repentance Sutra adaptation.
When he performed the Water Repentance Sutra adaptation, I saw that this child could come to us to help in the future. That was a good cause. So this time he participated in the planning team. He is very diligent, and this young man is very mindful and good at planning.
This time the challenge will be even harder than it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I only needed to remember my own movements. I didn't need to memorize others, but this time I need to remember them all.
Young volunteers playing with their hearts, while senior volunteers devote themselves, and together achieve the Buddhist musical smoothly.
To celebrate Tzu Chi's 55th anniversary, Tzu Chi is presenting an adaptation of the Lotus Sutra. Today we'll introduce Tang Meiyun Taiwanese opera troupe and youth theater, who have combined Buddhist teachings with performances.
When I saw the earth rotating in the universe, reminding us to work for Buddhism and all the sentient beings, I could not hold back my tears. I think that represents passing down of a vow.
On the large overhead projector, there are scenes of natural man-made disasters, as well as Tzu Chi's footprints over the past 55 years. Tang Meiyun Taiwanese opera troupe has touched people's hearts with their performances.
We inspire the performers' empathy so they can feel for all the things that are happening on the earth. When they have empathy and feelings, they can feel sympathetic and present their performances as we present disasters. It won't be from outside to inside, but the true performers from their hearts.
In the segment about Maitreya Bodhisattva's question, the troupe director Lin Wenxi placed the Maitreya Bodhisattva. After the Buddha taught Sutra of innumerable meanings, he enters meditation and shows auspicious things. Therefore, Maitreya Bodhisattva asked Manchu Shri Bodhisattva the reason behind it.
In this segment, how do I present the performance so that there's serenity in all the actions? In addition, there's active content in the serene meaning, so I have to be between inactive and active modes. My tree of Bodhisattva stays on stage once he starts performing.
在这个静态跟动态这中间，弥勒在整场上是一上去就没有下来了。
同时两位总会。
On the stage, actors surround the Manchuria Bodhisattva. In traditional performances, when the characters feel anxious or hopeless, they are performed in a uniform way. How to present a sutra adaptation through Taiwanese opera, director Lin Wenxun faced a lot of pressure.
我很多天都失眠。
I could not sleep because I was afraid I would not do a good job. I was afraid that I would disappoint Sister Tzu Chi or Teacher Tang. After all, in the troupe, I'm considered junior and young.
这个编排。
Tang Meiyun Taiwanese opera troupe does a good job spreading Buddhist teachings. Meanwhile, some performers also use drums to present sutra adaptations. Youth Theater performs 6 auspicious faiths, Manjushri Bodhisattva's answers, and the medicine herb chapter, showing the Buddha's compassion and wisdom through drum performances.
佛法是我们所有的生命的。
Buddhism is about the basic principles in life. Yes, it is basic principles. It is also the correct principles in the entire universe. In music, all the music, we start with do. So I use the do to create 6 auspicious phases.
开始去发展创作六类香。你看，出现了那么多的法义，那么多的经典。
Look, there are so many meanings in the sutra and so many sutra scriptures, but they all adhere to the basics. So is music. So there are many sounds, 13 of them or more, but they are all related to the sound do.
但是呢，他都不理都。
With respect to the Buddha, the performers present amazing drum performance, mixing dance with martial arts. Youth Theater also invited 100 performers to act and inspire people to think and explore.
觉得优人他很单纯，可是
I think a youth theater is very simple, and they really want to do a good job. But they have to work very hard to understand Tzu Chi as much as they can in 2 or 3 months. I think this is the most heavenly performance troupe I have come across. They understand right away. It's perfect. I am confident about them.
有信心，这个有信心这样。
The Dharma Assembly incorporates the past and the future. The performers present a sutra adaptation with sincerity, purifying people's hearts and minds. To mark the 55th anniversary of Tzu Chi, the management personnel from Tzu Chi affiliates prepared breakfast for Dharma masters and Jingsi volunteers at the Jingsi abode. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.